Hi everyone, my name is Brian and this is Gracy. This is our American quarter horse that we're working on getting her into some reining. We're not exactly sure if she'll be able to compete, but as I was telling my colleagues here that, it takes time to train these horses. Some days we're going to do the same repetitive thing that we did the day before. And so here we are today will be my third ride on her, and you guys will be able to see all those videos. Um, so yeah, so what I'm going to do right now, I already did my warm-ups with her. I did a little bit of desensitizing with her. She is very sensitive, so I'll continue to work that desensitizing on a daily basis. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mount her, and she seems like she's a little bit frisky about me mounting her. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice what we've been practicing, right? So that's why we don't fully commit, right? We don't fully commit. So she seems a little bit more wild today than usual. So, all right, you want to act arrogant? Go ahead. Let's do this. So she didn't do any of that silly stuff on the first or the second day, but now here we are on the third day, and now she wants to act silly like that, right? So we're gonna make her do some work and let her know that whenever I'm on her, that's her safest place. That's the most relaxing place she could be at. So what I'm gonna do now is that when she's away from me, that's when she gets all the work. Away from me means work. I'm gonna change directions, make sure I have her mind. She's fully paying attention. All right, let's give it another shot. Right, so I'm giving her the opportunity to be with me. So I'm gonna go here again. So I was expecting this of her on the first day, but definitely not the third day. So what I'm doing there is I'm putting her on a flexion, because that's basically an emergency for us, for both of us, for me not to fall off, and for her to not get hurt. So she did fine right there. So then I give her peace. So now I'm going to do the same thing. Everything that we do on one side, we do on another side. Psychologically, we basically have one horse on the right and one horse on the left. So just because I completely trained her well on one side doesn't mean that she knows it on the other side. She needs to get used to seeing me on both sides. So what I'm going to do here is desensitize her as much as possible, right? right? So I'm going to keep her nice and tight right there. So if I needed to, all I have to do is put her in a flexion and she'll stop. So I'm going to hold the horn here, because if at any moment, no matter how much experience I have as a trainer, she can decide to act silly at any moment. I'm going to do my best not to fall. So what I'm doing here is I'm pushing her forward, which is walk forward, but I'm teaching her to follow her nose. The reason why I'm saying for her to follow her nose is when the rein comes in on the right side and it taps her on the right side of her neck, then I'm helping her follow her nose with the left side of the rein. So first I ask, right? And then I tell. So I ask and then I tell. So we move forward, then I ask, then I tell. Right? And if I want a little bit more of, for her to go a little bit faster, I'm going to just tap with my spur or my calf lightly. These horses are like us. We have good days and we have bad days. And these fillies, of course, she has her day of the month, which I think that's this week. So she's going to act a little different than usual. Right? But that doesn't mean that she doesn't get to work. To continue to work every day. We give her one day off. As time progresses, we will build on the foundation that we're working on at this moment. So I'm walking her forward right there. I want her to cross her legs like that. Okay, so I did that on one side. So now let's go to the other side, right? The other side, she's a little bit more frisky because she's fresh on that side. So we're going to do it again. I'm going to hold on to the horn and I'm just going to lead her forward, forward, forward. And I'm tapping her too. I want her to get used to the spurs. I don't want to introduce the spurs later when I've been working on her for 3 months. And then next thing you know, now I have to start introducing the spurs. The first thing she felt was my spurs. So again, we tell with the reins, or we ask with the rein, then we pull with the other rein, and we tell with the other one. So the thing about horses is that their conformation can't be changed. So if she wants to put her head down there, that's fine with me. If she wants to put her head up a little bit more, that's totally fine with me. The truth of the matter of the fact is that I have to teach her to follow my reins and my leg pressures. So I'm going to come closer a little bit to the camera so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. There we go. Now she's starting to follow my lead there. So right now what I'm doing is the same thing that I explained to you guys, is which I'm asking with my rein to go to the right, and then I'm telling with the other rein, which is this right one. Right? And it's to the side. The way that I'm teaching her that pressure is that on the left side, the rein is touching her nose. She wants to go on a trot. I'm let her get some of the anxiety out. And I'm holding on to this because at any moment she decides to try to buck me off, then of course I'm gonna try to not to fall off at any time. So this is what we practice. So we're gonna show this video to you guys, and I'm gonna practice this for the next week. And once I see her doing well with my training, then we can move on to more advanced things. So we always want to, in the beginning at least, when we're starting them off, I have a loose rein on her so she moves forward, but I have my hands right here, so just in case I need to put on a one rein stop, oh, I can. And that's the next thing that I'm going to teach her is to listen to my whoa, right? And when she stops on all 4 feet, then I'll let the pressure go. Whoa. Right? And another thing that I'm doing at that moment is I'm teaching her to lift up her rib cage. Well, she's pushing it to one side. So you'll notice that if I put her on a flexion right there and a one rein stop, my saddle on the other side, it leans over. Because what she's doing, she's pushing in that rib cage and lifting up the shoulders. So that's how we're going to build on that foundation. See how she just takes off right there on her own? Oh, so same thing. I'm pushing in her ribs. My saddle moves the opposite side. So she's learning from the beginning what every signal is telling her to do. Because I need those hind legs to be the ones pushing. They need to push forward. So right here, I'm letting her more on a loose rein. We're starting to gain some trust, but she still doesn't know direction. So now this is the first time throughout all the videos that she's moving forward on a straight head. Her neck is straight, her neck is down. I'm not forcing her to do it. She's doing it on her own. And that just comes with her genetics. She's genetically coming from parents that are reiners, and naturally they do that. And that's what they look for in reining, for them to naturally put their head right there. That's where she finds peace. That's where she enjoys it. So then I'm going to continue to play with what I'm teaching with her. One is for her to move forward. The next one is to come over, cross those legs, cross them. Then we move forward again. By what I mean by that is I am continuously holding on with my calves, and then I'm doing one spur on each side. So I go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? And you're used to having a spur touching her. And I start from little to more. So I'm not going to obviously hurt her or what I mean by that is I'm not going to put too much pressure in the beginning, right? I'm going to slowly introduce it. right? And as soon as I feel her giving in and she's listening to everything that I'm asking, then I'll let her loose again. Tapping her with the words. And another thing that I'm doing is that I'm moving my hips with her, sort of like a hip thrust, right? I'm moving with her body. So we become one. How many minutes we got? Video how she decided to act crazy. So what I did is I put her to work and I showed her that, hey, I'm not gonna let you get away with those things, right? It's like a kid. Use my wall to turn her the other way. I don't need to be micromanaging her. I just need to be, paying attention that she's still fresh, right? She's still a very green horse, and that we have to build that trust. And, with time, just as much as she's building trust with her rider, I am building trust with her as her trainer. So we want to make our session as peaceful as possible so that when we're on her, she loves it. She enjoys her job. I'm doing the same thing here. I've been telling you guys. The rein is right there. So I need her to follow that. I need her to nose. And I need her to, there we go, over those shoulders. And I need her to be desensitized to the spurs. Right here, my job is also to work with her. And I'm using my entire body, my core, my calves. Right? She decided that she wants to be on the trot. She's that type of horse that she's a little bit more hot than a lot of horses. So I'm not gonna contain that energy. I'm gonna let her take out that energy and let her be free. She can relax, and I'm okay with that too. That's where we both find peace when she relaxes. So that's about a 20 to session with her today. And yeah, like I was telling you guys earlier, that I'll continue to do this throughout the week, and I'll continue to post as many videos, but most likely when she's already ready to progress to the next level. Putting a bit in her mouth, so that's a whole nother process. And so yeah, that'll be this training session. What? Okay. So here we are again. My name is Brian. Shh. Oh. So we can fight all she wants. or we could live a relaxing life. So she doesn't like this side. Oh, oh. So I just need her to learn to contain her anxiety. It's just stalled up energy. I always want to end on a good note. So if I start to work on something else, there we go. She's now stepping back. There we go. That'll be the end of our video. She did exactly what I needed her to do right there, which is she was being a little bit defiant about going back, and she just was caving in her head and in her side, her ribs. She's giving me a flexion without me asking. I wanted her to come back. She gives me a few steps back. So I'm going to end my session with her on a good note right there, so that next time we do that again, she'll pick it right back up. Like I was saying, my name is Brian, and this is Gracie, and we'll see you guys on the next one.